In ancient myths, dark winter gods freeze the blood of arrogant kings who blindly march into the heavy, deep snows today. Welcome to History Now Studios. We heavily merge true historical events with dark mythical lore to uncover the past today. During the Second World War, the absolute deadliest battle in all of human history took place upon the frozen Volga River. A ruthless German dictator ordered his massive, terrifying war machine to completely capture the city of Stalingrad today. Taking this highly strategic industrial hub would sever deep Russian supply lines and feed his absolute dark war machines. But the city proudly bore the sacred name of the Soviet leader, turning a tactical strike into a massive clash of titans. In August of 1942, massive waves of German bombers completely reduced the grand city into burning ashes today. The brutal air raids shattered heavy concrete and twisted dark iron, creating a terrifying apocalyptic nightmare reality. In our original fantasy lore, brave adult warriors desperately defend ruined castles against overwhelming legions of orcs. But here, in the grim reality, Soviet soldiers fiercely fortified the shattered rubble, determined to absolutely hold firm. The Soviet High Command issued a deeply chilling and absolute order, declaring that not one single step back was allowed. Adult troops were violently ferried across the freezing Volga River directly into the absolute terrifying jaws of combat. The German army entered the ruined streets, completely expecting a truly rapid victory over the deeply exhausted defenders. Instead, they were heavily dragged into a massive, terrifying rat war, where every single ruined building was a fortress. Fierce, bloody combat raged through dark cellars, shattered factories, and totally ruined apartments in the freezing cold. A single room could quickly change hands dozens of times in one dark day of absolute, desperate, and terrifying violence. Soviet snipers became legendary phantom hunters in the shadows, striking deep terror into the hearts of the German troops. These brave, silent marksmen moved like dark, magical assassins, blending perfectly into the heavy, gray ash of the ruins. As the brutal autumn slowly turned into a terrifying, freezing winter, the German supply lines became completely strained. The once invincible soldiers were absolutely freezing to death, lacking heavy winter clothing and vital combat ammunition. General Zhukov secretly amassed a truly massive Soviet reserve force, deeply hidden in the dark, frozen plains around them. In late November, the Soviets launched Operation Uranus, a highly brilliant and absolutely devastating massive pincer move. 1 million adult soldiers violently smashed through the highly vulnerable Romanian flanks, completely trapping the Germans. The terrifying hunter instantly became the desperate prey, heavily surrounded by a massive, truly unyielding ring of iron. The German dictator absolutely refused to allow his freezing army to retreat, blindly promising a massive aerial resupply. But the freezing, violent winter storms and fierce Soviet pilots completely destroyed the desperate heavy transport ships. Inside the dark, frozen pocket, thousands of desperate adults starved to death in a truly horrific, apocalyptic wasteland. The harsh, freezing winter acted like a massive, ancient ice titan, brutally crushing the invaders with absolute cold fury. Our dark fictional universes feature epic magical traps, but this true historical encirclement was vastly more terrifying. By early 1943, the completely exhausted German forces were entirely out of food, fuel, and absolute hope. Field Marshal Paulus finally surrendered the broken remnants of his once truly massive and incredibly proud fighting army. Over 2 million adult casualties completely soaked the frozen mud of Stalingrad, heavily marking it as a dark mass grave. This absolutely staggering and monumental victory completely shattered the terrifying myth of German military invincibility. The deeply exhausted Soviet army finally began the incredibly long and truly bloody march straight toward the German core. History proves that overwhelming technological superiority can be entirely defeated by sheer absolute human determination. The dark ruins of Stalingrad stand as an absolute towering testament to the incredible resilience of the human soul today. The incredibly arrogant dictators who falsely thought they could conquer the entire world were violently proven dead wrong. We deeply explore these massive historical turning points because they absolutely define the modern world we live in today. The absolute darkest shadows of true history consistently provide the truly greatest inspiration for our epic fantasy myth. What incredibly brave historical battle or truly terrifying fantasy lore should we actively explore in our next epic tale? Let us firmly remember the truly massive sacrifices made by deeply brave adults who violently fought against absolute evil. The freezing, heavy winds of the Volga still carry the deeply haunting echoes of the absolute greatest clash in human time. True historical bravery is incredibly vastly more beautiful and truly epic than any fictional magic spell or dark sorcery. Join our epic channel as we constantly seek to uncover the absolutely terrifying and highly beautiful truths of our Earth. Subscribe to History Now Studios today and completely immerse yourself in the absolute grandest legends of time and space.